I am 45 years old today, so my workout for today is to pick this up. A 45-pound plate. I'm out of here, bitches.
Today is Mark's birthday, December 10th, 1976. So today he turns 45, I think, if I can do the math right. You do the math at home. I got him a little present, so I'm gonna bring it in and give it to him. Hey, happy birthday.
Uh-oh. A satchel of something. What did he give me? A slingshot and some knee sleeves? Oh my God. It's a pocket pussy. Oh. You guys shouldn't have. Not with my wife here. This is ridiculous. Ooh, and a hat. I love it. A hoodie. Nice and comfy.
It's like a sick color though, because you're making a hoodie that's kind of that color too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Hey.
Thanks, bro. And birthday present to myself. Gonna do a workout in a little bit. Gonna load up the wheelbarrow thing that we have here. Do some stuff with that. Load up some chains. Throw them around my neck. Walk around. Should be a real blast. I was trying to think of something else deadly to do, but I'm sure I'll come up with it as I get going. I walk with my dad every morning. He said, I'll be going downtown today. We walk in Davis a lot at 6 a.m. And I said, I'm drinking my coffee and I need to poo, which I have to tell him every morning because it always costs me extra time leaving my house. And I said, he said, I'm leaving my house now. I said, I'll leave in a little bit. I said, but I still need to wait. I have to poop before I leave the house. He says, no worries. I'll probably still be walking. And then he finished by saying, don't blow out an O-ring on your birthday. Some really wise advice from the old man. Don't blow out an O-ring on your birthday. I think that's something everyone can utilize. People have different ways of celebrating, I guess. This will be mine for today. Kind of cold out here in California. I know that people don't believe us when we say that it's cold here, but it was 35 degrees when I was out on my walk this morning. And yeah, it's not Chicago, it's not Wisconsin, but it's still kind of chilly. Another element of training, I think, get yourself acclimated to the conditions. So. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow, 15 plates. A lot of 45s on there. This thing here, by the way, doesn't really weigh anything. So it's just whatever this amount of plates weighs. When you're doing exercises that require grip strength, you want to actually stop a little bit before you think you're done, because once your grip is done, it takes a long time to come back. It actually, in fact, it won't even necessarily come back in the same day. That's how taxed it gets. I don't know why there's the connection, but there's a massive connection between your grip and your central nervous system. If you go to the gym on a day where maybe you squatted a day or two earlier and you had a really good workout, you're gonna go to pick up a 45 and you go, you can be like, what happened? Is this a 90-pound plate, not a 45-pound plate? It's gonna feel like 1,000,000 pounds. And it's because your nervous system is taxed, and your nervous system and these little chubby little hands here are very much connected. My goal is to take this thing down this ramp over here. That's a good ramp. Or maybe down this ramp right here. And then to bring it back up, and then to bring it all the way back into the gym it's gonna take an effort. Like this grade right here, it probably doesn't look like shit. Probably looks like nothing. It's not super steep, but it's gonna have a massive impact trying to lug that weight. So goal one is to get this set up so I can come up the ramp. I'll probably have to put it down again probably have to put it down a couple times and then bring it all the way back in the gym, unload it before I do anything else, and then do something else. So here we go. Another key thing I forgot to mention this earlier, when it comes to anything weighted, a nice kind of advantage you can get just to work some extra muscles is just to pull the weights up and back a bit. So if it's dumbbells or kettlebells or this, do a little bit of a shrug. You'll notice the strongman guys, they actually do a little bit of that, but their weights are so heavy that it's pretty quick that their arms start to get all the way extended. Another key thing about farmers carries in general is it's going to help kind of elongate whatever this is, cause a right term, depression of the shoulders. Shoulders are going to come downward, and you'll notice the biggest deadlifters, they have a lot of distance between where their shoulder is and where their ear is. Think of the way that Arnold Schwarzenegger was built. Even though Arnold had massive shoulders, he kind of had sloped shoulders. I think Arnold pulled like 727 pounds, and he wasn't particularly a power lifter. So that's a tremendous amount of weight. Start to think about some of the other people that you've seen. It's not necessarily just long arms like a Kale or Willem, but it's also like where their attachment is. For me, I'm like built up more this way a little bit because of all the years of benching. That's all I ever cared about, is how much you bench. And so deadlifting's always been hard for me. It's not because my arms are short. My arms are actually kind of long. But it's just because the way I'm built, it makes it, for me personally, makes it a little more difficult. No excuses. I was just a pussy on the deadlift. I can admit that. Because hands are starting to give. It's like the fingers, forearms start to go. You get yourself in a lot of trouble. So what I'm gonna do for my rest, my hands can rest plenty. Let me get a little jog down to the end here, just to where this fence is over here, and then scoot back. A lot of deadlift reps in here already today too. Picking this thing up each time. Well, bam, we're there. Yes. Again, remember that breath I taught you? Double breath through the nose. Let it all go with a good sigh. So here we go. So you're smelling some pancakes in the morning, or some bacon. You know, running is pretty interesting. There's a big difference between going to the gym and lifting, and like skirting your way around injury. But when you're running, it's tough. The injury really seems to like sit there and kind of sit with you. So be very cautious. Like I said, my calf is just tender. It wasn't a huge deal. I did some sprinting or running with the sled with Nsima and Sean Stevenson and his son Jordan. I don't usually run with the sleds, so there's a little bit extra stress on my calf, and so that's been a little weird. I can lift all day, I can move, I can walk, but it's that little extra pressure of running makes it tough. Then what happens is you start to change your running form, and you're in a whole lot of trouble. The same thing can happen on lifting. Like if you have a weird hamstring or you got a weird something and you're supposed to deadlift for the day, probably find some other variation of the movement. So, because if this left hamstring is tight and you go to pick the weight up and the right hamstring gets more of it, you're gonna go, why is my right butt cheek so sore? Why did I tweak that? Sometimes you might tweak something in your arm. So as much as I'm telling you, like, go for it, you also have to use some common sense and use your head. So I am going to see if I can at least get it back to where I started. It should be pretty difficult because we've got a slight grade here. Nice, there we go. Grip is gone. That is my birthday workout. It felt really good. I got on a big walk this morning. Probably walked for about an hour. Got to sit down at a coffee shop and just chill for about an hour as well. Got here, had a great workout with my brother. That's a lot of fun. When I came in this morning, my wife was in here lifting some weights. My sister-in-law and some of the staff here gave me a present. My brother gave me a present. I'm just surrounded by really awesome people, and I have some awesome fans. And I appreciate all of you. And more recently, and what I'd love for you guys to do that are watching this right now, a little call to action. I would love for you guys to send me more before and after pictures. Like more recently, I'm not sure why, but I didn't ask for it, but people keep sending me their before and after pictures. So something I'm saying is working and helping people and vibing well with people. And I've just been inundated with a lot of them. I try to answer everyone's questions because you guys are a bunch of savages, and it's amazing because you're like, hey, you know, bro, like I followed your stuff for a while and I lost 100 pounds, but it's always like, okay, you lost 100 pounds, let's celebrate that. But you guys are savages and you're just thinking about how to get better. You're like, hey, should I add more protein? Because like I want to now bring up a little bit more muscle mass. I want to get bigger now that I lost all the weight. So it's been unbelievable, and I love the support. I really appreciate it. Keep hitting those like buttons on Instagram and on YouTube, and keep the comments coming. I see them. I see them all. I pay attention to them all. It's an overwhelming feeling in some ways to the amount of support, the amount of love that you guys show for the podcast and all the different things that I'm putting out there. And it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you so much. Strength is never weakness, weakness never strength. Catch you guys later.